Children, now we are going to learn another lesson, the abolition of slavery. Children, one of the most important revolutionary social reform of the Jacobinism was the abolition of slavery in the French colonies. Children, who are the Jacobins? They are less prosperous sections of society. Their leader, Maximilian Robespierre, Reign of Terror, and Saint Cloud, all these you learn, no, that's the Jacobin government. They only abolished slavery in the French colonies. Children, France occupied many countries. They are the French colony. Like England also occupied, no, English colony. Suppose India was a colony to the Britain at the time. Like that, no. France also occupied many countries. They are the French colonies. Here, in the Caribbean islands, here is children, near North Africa, between the near North America, no, Caribbean islands are there. There, French colonies are there. What they know? Martinique, Guadeloupe, San Domingo. These are the French colonies in the Caribbean islands, which supplies the commodities like tobacco, sugar, indigo, and coffee. Okay, but here Europeans had the developed plantations, but here the problem of labor, shortage of labor. Why? The plantation owners are the Europeans, but they didn't go to work there to produce the crops like sugar, coffee, tobacco, indigo. No. Why? Because they are unfamiliar and distant land, because they have to cross the Atlantic Ocean. Distant lands and unfamiliar, their culture, language different, no. So European didn't like to go there to work in the plantations. So shortage of labor. But how this was met now? Now the triangular slave trade. Okay? French merchants from the Bordeaux and Nantes, they traveled to the African coast. There they purchased the slaves from the local chieftains, and they were sent to the Caribbean islands after 3-month long voyage in the ships. Horrible condition their journey in the Atlantic Ocean. Shackled, branded like this, all this. Children, these slaves were sold in the Caribbean island European plantation owners. With their help, they produced the crops. What are the crops? I already told, no, sugar, coffee, indigo, all this. Then the crops were produced with the slave labor, no, now supplied to the European continent. Children, this was the triangular slave trade. Why this is a triangular slave trade? Because in the Caribbean island, French colonies are there. They are supplying the crops like sugar, indigo, coffee, tobacco, all this. But shortage of labor. Why? European know that is distant and unfamiliar lands. So they didn't like to go to Caribbean islands. So from the French port cities, Bordeaux and Nantes, they went to the African coast. They purchased from the local chieftain, the people, and like slaves. No, they are brought to the Caribbean islands. Children, no. Because of this, slaves, no, now they are able to, and the Europeans, no, cut all these crops. And these cities, no, Bordeaux and Nantes, no, port cities, no, they got the economic prosperity because of the flourishing slave trade. Children, throughout the, actually, no century started 17th century. Slave trade, no, began in the 17th century. Then, throughout the 18th century, because 17th French Revolution, no, there was a criticism, okay, there is a little criticism, they never bothered about the slave trade. Okay, But National Assembly had a long debates whether the Declaration of Rights of Man and Citizen should be extended to the French subjects, including the French colonies. Long debates only. But they didn't pass any laws because of opposition from the businessmen whose income depend upon the slave trade. But finally, convention, and Jacobin government I already told you, no. This convention government only abolished slavery. But this one short term measure only. Why? After that, Napoleon came to the power. He reintroduced after 10 years now. Napoleon came to the power in France and reintroduced the slavery. Then the plantation owners, the Europeans only plantation owners understood their freedom meant right to enslave the African Negroes in pursuit of their economic interest. Children, here, what is the term Negro? Negro, no, that is the people of Africa, south of the Sahara Desert. This is not the good word, derogatory word only, now not in the common use. And the native of African people south of the Sahara Desert was called as the Negroes. That is not a good one, derogatory word only. Okay, not in use in the common uses. Children, do you understand now the abolition of slavery? In which year finally abolished? 1848. 1794, only Jacobins only, the convention government only abolished. After that, Napoleon came to the power. He introduced just only 10 years only. After 10 years now, Napoleon introduced the slavery. But slavery was finally abolished in all the French colonies in 1848. Do you understand the lesson?